Okay, so hi everyone. So basically today, what we're going to do is work on the function to um, query the Sentinel index um, uh, using to get the kind of relevant date times for the um, Sentinel metadata. Um, for the Sentinel kind of satellite imagery, that is. So again, this was going back. We've created most of the functions in the file. Kind of we've have the functions for the join. We have the functions for the no, not that repo. So we have the functions for the join. But but now we want to kind of add the Sentinel data to the join df for the specific date times, so that someone could then easily get those images from those times. Later, I think when we're not actually going to download those images. We're just going to put the path to the bucket where then people can scrape them. So anyways, that's kind of the idea, because then probably when the individual writes the data loaders, then those will fetch the actual date time. So that's kind of the first thing we're going to start with. And then the second thing is okay, I still have FF opened. Is then we're going to then work on kind of a general querying function that or a general function that writes to the tables this data as we scrape it, assuming how far we get with the Sentinel kind of joining code. So the first thing to do is we're gonna kind of write some of the Sentinel code in just the in the notebook to get those dates between a certain date time. I think what we'll then also do is at some point probably have an index created of the different tiles, what are the different dates the aerial imagery was taken. That kind of already exists in the index, in that really large index file, but the problem is that file is very large, so we probably don't want to be loading it every time. So yeah, we'll start with that and then kind of go from there. I did have, we do have some of that kind of initial query thing here, though we're going to change it up a bit obviously for this function, but we'll start out by copying that because that kind of shows how to query that df. Again, we could use BigQuery for this too, but I don't want to run up a lot of costs on BigQuery, particularly when there are so many different river basins. So and then the other issue too is then when this index gets updated, we might play around a bit with the pub sub thing, because I'm not sure when the index gets updated what exactly the pub subtopic sends out and stuff. It's actually been a while since I've worked with pub sub, but we do want to be notified when new data is added to the Sentinel thing for a specific tile, because then we want to obviously update our index with those proper paths and some really probably append them to the data frame when it is. So, so yeah, as you can see, it is a very large file. So I think there's probably a faster way of storing it. Well, both a faster way of storing it and, of course, not using, I think, BigQuery, because the BigQuery queries do take up some bandwidth, though actually, yeah, it might make sense to have a query run, but at least for this initial thing, I think we'll yeah, just do some of the querying here. So basically, given a tile ID, so this function basically given a tile ID and a date time. I forget, did I already write this code? This seems familiar. I'm not sure. It should be committed if it was. So I did, this does add this combine with snowtail df. Oh yeah. I'd started kind of I had started to work on that function, I think. Though then I think it hadn't really worked, so get snowtail. Data. Oh yeah, so this gets it. Oh wait, no, that's the snowtail stuff. Oops. So yeah, I don't have this thing for the sentinel then in that case. Yeah, that was the snowtail. Oops. So yeah, I guess yeah, we do have to write this function then. So yeah, as you can see, it's basically downloading the large file. But basically, this will take a tile ID, a start time, and an end time. I think this required a high RAM notebook. I'm not sure. Thought this was high RAM. Oh yeah, it is high RAM. Okay. But basically, yeah, just we want to query that. So forget the column names. Once this loads, I'll probably do some of that looking into this index. But okay, yeah, actually, so that wasn't the right PR after all. Okay, no, so that wasn't the thing I was doing. Yeah, let's go back to the issues. Yeah, I got confused there for a second. Okay, so this was the issue we were working on. Oh, I didn't actually write out this issue, but basically the idea is that, like, given a data frame, given the combined df ASOS, USGS, snowtail, etc. Add the paths to the sentinel imagery for that tile. On that date. So yeah, that's pretty much correct, I think. Yeah, that really does take a long time to load, it seems. So yeah, basically, okay, so basically, yeah, as a refresher, going back to the Sentinel-2 data, you know, you have these different paths. So this is a tile, and but this thing that I saw before was that there are lots of different things in here, not all of them exactly relevant. So some of these are not actually, don't actually store. That one does, but some of them I found don't actually store any actual images, and then there are duplicates. Whereas so basically the problem with just getting the list from GCP was that fuck, did this fucking crash again? I thought this was... it's supposed to be high RAM. The problem was that come on, just allow. The problem was that these yeah, and then it was also kind of actually somewhat cumbersome to extract the date time from these. I mean, it's like, you know, string manipulation, but I was seeing that once you have this index loaded, querying it works faster. Particularly when you have all these different rows, some of them not useful. I don't actually even know what some of them are, because the thing that I saw was that there are like hundreds in, say, one of these buckets, but there's only actually maybe like 100 actual images. So some of these are either duplicates or something else. So that's why just listing the blobs in the bucket didn't really seem to work well. Whereas this index file does have the path to all of these. Though it is very large, which is why that was crashing. So, I mean, probably for most of these, yeah, I don't know. It might make sense to use BigQuery because it is on BigQuery. Let me go back to BigQuery. The thing about BigQuery, though, is obviously I didn't want to run up a lot of costs. So particularly for having this many river basins, 9,000, and they're constantly querying the index, particularly for the initial scrape where we're doing it for a lot of date time, then that's probably going to take on a fair amount of cost. Now we have to wait for this again. So it would be better to have a function here. But yeah, again, on BigQuery, basically the data set was all listed here. I did have a query, I think, saved somewhere from I did have a query saved that would basically get that all the things from the certain months. So I forget though what I was selecting. Oh yeah, you were getting the base URL, so you were getting the base URL, so it was like selecting the base URL. So for instance, this query should return, yeah, all the tile, but then we would also do it on the tile, also do it on the tile ID and stuff. So, what was it? Oh yeah, this field. So equals, let's do an example. So, okay, so we know this one has one on this date. So, for instance, it would be like something like this, which would be the manager's tile. But in any case, like, so, and then, so obviously that tile didn't have any data on that date. But really, actually, it will be like kind of a date range too. So, but in any case, let's go back to here. That's still loading. Let's see. I'll save this query. Yeah, I mean, sometimes I will come back to some of these queries. Yeah, okay, so that was one of the earlier queries. But in any case, we're going to mainly be translating these queries into the, Python type, pandas type stuff. But I do think that what is it? This will be maybe useful for getting just the recent ones, because then we could do maybe something like since SQL query since time. Okay, so greater than. But yeah, if we did like timestamp is greater than sensing month. Okay, is greater than. No, I don't think that will work. SQL query. I had another query a while ago. Query. Oh yeah, greater than date. Where sensing time. I don't know what that timestamp trunk is doing. So that obviously returned a lot of results, but if you were going to do, and the only reason why it didn't consume more data is because we put limit 1000 on. But like if you did, since you did it on a daily basis, and then say remove the limit, then I wonder how much it would estimate. In any case, so even one day essentially returned 2,670 results. In any case, okay, I think that finally completed. So now we're going to essentially do a similar thing, but just using pandas instead. So let's see. Okay, yeah, and this would probably take the index. I'll just have it take the cent index. Or IDX DF. So we're going to do okay, I'll rename this. So so I wonder if, just gonna quickly look over these columns again. I think we do generation time, or maybe sensing time. Let's try that. Yeah, okay, so this would be sensing time. This will probably have some issues, my guess is, because of how these are getting converted from times to not. But I'm just going to see what this does. But I'd kind of expect an error here, would be my guess. Query D, we're not using it yet, so I'll just put anything in there. And I don't know if, yeah, that's the thing. I don't know if these should be date times or what. Probably, I guess. From date time, import date time. 2022. Let's just do 0101 or something. Wait, what's it complaining about? Yeah, it's because it shouldn't be closed. What? That should close it. I don't know what that's saying. Oh, it doesn't like the... Yeah, I forget this doesn't like the leading zeros and stuff. Okay, wait. Maybe there. Because between instances of straw and date time, Oh, we might have to convert that to date time. Index. Well, let's do that above here, because we'd only want to do that once, because I'm guessing that would take a while. Let's see, sensing time. Equals PD dot. Is that what it is? Yeah, I think so. So let's see. Sometimes, particularly doing this on a large file, there'll be some kind of errors because one of the times might be not formatted the proper way. But actually that ran, so that's good. Now we could try that again. Can't compare TZ aware and TZ. Okay, so one of these has a UTC timestamp and the other apparently doesn't, so it doesn't really matter because these things are done on a daily or weekly basis, so it's not like we'd be misjoining stuff to the improper hour. But it might be worth looking at just when. So yeah, it looks like, okay, it always is given in UTC. Init, date time, Python, UTC. Okay, so we just need to do TZ info apparently. Wait, where do I import that from? Oh, time zone. Cool. Just from here. So let's try that. Okay, so it did return a lot of things, so that looks more or less correct. So the other thing we want to do is probably do like then first filter it to the tile ID. So let's just take this tile ID for instance. We'll copy and paste it there. And then we'll do tile ID. Tile. So this will give us everything, should give us everything for the tile. And it's this majors tile equals, should equal tile ID. I think that should be right. Oh yeah. Then we want to do tile df. Let's see. And there's all those things for that month. And then So that seems to be working. And then so yeah, that does seem to work. The big thing is probably loading that df initially, because it's a large object that obviously requires a fair amount of RAM. Yeah, it makes me wonder if like yeah, what would be the best way of dealing with that, kind of loading that. So, yeah, I mean, it might make sense, yeah, to like, I don't know, save some of these into different things. Yeah, so yeah, I was just thinking too about I guess whether it makes sense to like maybe throw it into Redis or another database, though, or some other temporary storage. I'm not sure. I mean, I think the major thing, yeah, is loading the file, because it is a large file. So I don't probably want it. You definitely want to do that, like I think, on a daily scraping thing. And then the problem is then the file is like in memory. And I don't know how much RAM we're using even on this disk. Well, actually here we're using 19 gigabytes, I guess, of 51. So, I'm not sure what the cost would be on something like BigQuery. I do know if I query this a lot, though, it's going to make actual costs. Try new code management. Well, that looks kind of interesting. In any case, I think that is the function I would use in general from if I'm using pandas, to get all of those. So I guess for now I might keep this as is. Then I might try having like maybe then the file loaded when the scraping class would be instantiated. So or I don't know, it might make sense to maybe put that in our own SQLite database or something. Yeah, I don't know, because then every time, yeah, particularly if you want to parallelize this, you won't want each class instantiating one of those scraper objects, because that would use a lot more stuff. Instead, yeah, you'd want something like a database you'd probably query. I'm just wondering how to do that. Or the other option, yeah, is just, well, particularly because the index file is updated too, so, yeah, I mean, that's where BigQuery would be useful because it's automatically updated off of the index file. Okay. But yeah, then that would go probably under more of an infrastructure thing. Like, oh, we create just a small database off of that, and then we'd probably deploy that as a separate small container that we would then query. So though I don't know how much that would cost compared to the BigQuery. Okay, so yeah, I'm getting kind of confused. I'll probably have to look into the design of that a bit, but the basic idea either way is we then query it for whatever the object is, whether it's a database or the DF, and then we get the essentially the times, and then we get something like this, and then we would try to join it to the kind of ASOS DF. So for that part, or actually, let's take one of our example things and maybe get a scaled down version just for the unit tests. We'll assume that like the output of this would be, of whatever we did, would be in roughly this format. So yeah, for our unit tests here, let's see. So I think, so like this meta one, let's just find the Sentinel tile ID would be this. So let's just pretend for a second we have some way of like returning this reliably and getting this output. So let's just generate this for let's see which one we were scraping that over in our other test meta. We were doing it from that scrape was longer. So yeah, it might be very well too, particularly on the daily scrapes, that there is no Sentinel data for that date because of that. So I think here we were doing it for the 20, we're just doing it for literally one day, so I doubt there is anything for that day. So if we do 2020 one, yeah, I bet there's not going to be anything. Yeah, so there's nothing. So, okay, so that's probably not a good one to test it on. The other one we do a longer scrape on for our unit test is this western one. So let's go to the Sentinel tile, or does this not have the tile? This was downloaded, it should have the tile. Okay, let me go check. Why doesn't that have the tile? Metadata. So I think we got it from here. Yeah. So this was the station ID. Boulder Creek. I don't know why the station the files are named for the station ID, but it really should be on the thing too. I feel like somewhere at least. It didn't seem to be, or is it somewhere? Oh, it probably should be. Okay, let's. In any case. So this was the file for it from our bucket. Okay, yeah, it looks like when I went to create the test case, I just downloaded the wrong thing. Okay, let's western metadata dot. We'll just overwrite this. westmeta.json. I'll just overwrite that. That should pop up too now. Yeah, so so now there should be that in there. So then let's go get the Sentinel tile ID. It's this 13 TDE. So we'll go back to here. And our date range was from on the unit test was from let's see, from the 2021/12 to 2022 to the 3rd, 2021/12, 2022 free. So we'll run that. And there are quite a few here. So I'm just gonna call this, or maybe I'll just do 2 CSV example tile out. Though I mean really all we need is the bucket path though. But we don't really want to join all this other stuff. But that will be something maybe the other function handles. So let's go get that now. We'll download this. And we'll throw it in here. I'll say example tile west, just so we know it's the western one. And then, yeah, then we basically need a function to test joining that to the Sentinel. So I'll just put that there for now. So in any case, that function will probably be part of that main class. So we'll start writing it here. So yeah, this will probably take so some of its recommendation is right, some of it's definitely wrong. Sentinel obviously doesn't have the filled snow. And first, actually, as I said, we're going to filter that down equals, and we're going to do, I think, the sensing time again. Let's see what that was called. We'll remove that, just rerun that. So we'll use sensing time, and then the two fields we'd want are basically the base URL path and then the sensing time. So those are the only two we really need. And I think those are all caps. I looked at it just to, yeah. So this is going to be sensing time, and then base URL, I think. Base URL, those are the two things. Oh yeah, self. Add self. And yeah, we're probably not gonna want to fill. I'd rather have it just on those certain days, for now at least. And then, right on sensing time. How left? Yeah, how left. I think that should be the basic logic, and then we'll check it out with this thing. So self dot equals PD. What did I call this thing? As example test. So that was useful. We're going to then import. Okay, yeah, that's part of Hydro Scraper, so we don't need to import anything. So we just need to do self.western. Yeah, so we need to do that. I don't think we really need to assign it to self, actually. Yeah, my guess is this will fail. So I forget if there's a way of running the unit test after. Where do I assign self.final df? Don't really. That's odd. Oh, so I guess, like, that's only called after this. Okay. So yeah, the problem is yeah, we don't know when this is called right now. Because sometimes the unit tests, even though these are chronological, are actually run out of order. So, make sure Python unit test is run after So make sure Python unit test is run after, let's see, after other test. Yeah, but I don't want to throw it in those. I guess we could do it as a tear down, though that would be a little weird. Yeah, I mean, purists would say this, of course, isn't really a unit test if it's dependent on other things. But in reality, like, I don't really care because I want to, so, Western scraper. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how to ensure that that's done later. I guess I could try to put it in a teardown. Is that how you do it? Oh, it has the smallest string value. So yeah, it's apparently based on. Okay, I'll just. Okay, I won't do that. So, if we call this test, x join. Okay, I think that should work. Equal. So yeah, it should still be the same. Let's see. Oh, a lot of things. I'm gonna batch these as 2 commits just to make it easier. Adding files and then add combine Sentinel let's see. So yeah, actually, yeah, I probably should have done this both in the same PR, but now essentially this PR looks like it will address 2 things. And why isn't the issue number coming up? Yeah, so it looks like this PR will now do 2 things, hopefully both the Sentinel and the Snowtail. And 14 it looks like. Or actually I might, yeah, let's actually get rid of that. I think this thing completed. So I might actually merge this and then start a new one. Yeah, so the last commit didn't change any of the functions, it just added the files. But yeah, I probably want this as a separate PR. I think all of this was done pretty much. The last 2 things I checked off were I definitely tested that. And that was passing. So that was definitely done. I don't know if this last thing was done. I mean, that's not that important anyways. But yeah, it's probably not a good idea to actually start throwing the 2 things into one PR. Okay, I might throw this into ready for review. Okay, I'll just comment that. So, I know that, and could phase this. So yeah, I won't add this code now. Oh yeah, I did want to update the README too, I guess, with some more info for merging the stuff. river flow forecasting / water analysis. I am changing some stuff with this. We're in 12. Here, yeah. Okay, so that's that. Maybe I will look at those doc strings quickly too. So this is updating. Okay. So yeah. And network. Okay. So print. So yeah, it's useful to sometimes have some print debugging. So that doesn't work, we have the URL. Other print statements, I do think I'm going to get rid of, like here. I don't think you need to. Or wait, that was part of another issue, so I won't get rid of that actually. So that doc string looks good. Yeah, I think the doc strings are good now too. So I'll just, of course I can't approve my own pull request. Okay. Ready for review. So verify doc strings. Verify doc strings. I don't know if I used another notebook, but it might be good to stage it if I did. Are these already in there? Notebooks. Oh, they aren't. Or that one is. Look at this, see if everything's in there. Build. To build. Just do that. So that other README will obviously pop up when someone opens that directory. Okay, I'm not going to add any more of the code. Need to add any more. Close that. handle these URL errors. Yeah, if I do throw a linter on it, I guess that shouldn't be free, but whatever. Okay, so that should be good. Oops, why does that come up? So do that. Okay, get that off. Test lever. I don't think test lever is called. It's not in test. Maybe I should delete that. Okay. Okay, so that should fix the things. Let me look quickly at that. Or am I using test lever? Yeah, I'm just trying to tidy up a bit before merging this. Okay, so I'm not actually. What's this? I might remove that. It's just a file. So yeah, we'll merge this. Oops. Okay. Okay. So we added that. Now this other stuff we can add to a new PR. I wonder if that auto closed the issues. So this was basically completed. Just check off all this. All that's good. Now we can open a new PR with the new code. And let's make a new branch too. Sentinel join. Or actually, call it join. We'll base it on master, which we just merged. Or actually, I'll quickly check to make sure everything passed. It passed before, so. Yeah, already passed, so that's good. Yeah, bring it to this branch. Or wait, I'm gonna call it. Okay, let's do that. So What? There was no change there. What? These were on the same branch before and after it was merged. There shouldn't be a fucking issue there. What the fuck? I don't know why the fuck it did that. There shouldn't be any issue there. Come on. There's no changes. There was no difference. There shouldn't have been any sort of merge conflict. What? What the fuck happened to this? There shouldn't have been any fucking merge conflict there. Like, I don't get how there's a fucking merge conflict there. They were on the same branch. They were literally on the same branch. There shouldn't have been any freaking merge conflict. What? Where's the Snowtail stuff? Oh, we accidentally brought the changes to the wrong branch. Ugh, fucking A. Wait, what? I said I want it to be based on master. Ugh. Fucking A. That's not what I... Fuck. Now I have to rewrite that shit. I mean, one of them I copied, but it just pisses me off. Now would be a good time to work. No, don't you remember this thing? Now this would be a good time for that stupid autocomplete to work. Don't you remember that? Stupid thing. Yeah, that's the problem of having these out-of-date branch names. I think I'm actually going to go through and delete all my old branches soon. bullshit. Can't believe that stupid piece of shit just did that with that thing. What? Why would I be pushing 17 things? They shouldn't be pushing anything. What? Wait, why is it saying pushing 18 things? I don't know what's going on. GitHub Desktop's acting weird today. Just like, I don't really know what it's doing. So what's the CI/CD doing? Wait, what's Circle CI doing? That actually worked? I mean, I didn't think that would work. What? No. God damn it. That's not what I wanted. No, not that function. Wait, shouldn't that have hit an error then, too? Okay, there it is. I don't see why it still says all those ones are upstaged. Why is it saying 19 there? Let's see. What? Right, no. I don't know why that was there. I don't know why it's saying night. I might just start a new branch. This is honestly ridiculous. No. What? I guess I'll go back to that one. Go back. Okay, so those branches. Okay, wait, now it's clear. Okay, that cleared it. Ugh, I don't know why it says 19. I don't see where it gets that there are 19 upstream, but anyways, the change here was to get rid of this. Okay, I'm just gonna copy these to I think an entirely new branch, and then do that. And, oops. Sentinel. Okay. And then I can recopy this. And then I can recopy this too. And then that should be good. Okay, so that should fix some of the issues. We've already gone on pretty long today, so we'll probably come back next week. But yeah, that was a good lesson, I guess, in GitHub doing weird things with the branch when it wasn't. I think there was a branch that already existed with that name, so then it created some weird kind of merge conflict when really I just wanted a fresh branch based on master, and then like trying to like bring the stash changes there caused all sorts of issues. So but yeah, that was kind of the core of it. And then then so that should hopefully resolve, and then I'll work through more of figuring out how to get the, I guess, data from there, and whether to use an external database or just load the objects. So but yeah, that's all for today, and then I'll be back next week. So